Hello, I'm your host, Kelly Eckhart, and welcome to The Future Edit. Hello and welcome back to The Future Edit. I'm your host, Kelly Eckhart. I am so excited about this week's episode and my special guest, Carolina from Caros Blumen. She is a florist. Her specialty is using dried flowers and she makes the most amazing bouquets. I have two wreaths hanging on my door, which are absolutely fabulous. Basically, everything she puts her hands to, she just makes into these beautiful, beautiful floral bouquets. Now, the reason I brought her on this week is because she also uses flowers as a form of therapy. And I found this extremely interesting. As you know, I'm trying to give you a 360 view of the therapies that are available to you. And what about flowers? If you just want to, put your hands to something and really kind of clear your mind and go to this beautiful place, flower arranging is a perfect form of therapy. So without further ado, let's talk to Cairo. I have Carolina with me from Caros Blumen. Hello, how are you today? Thank you so much for being with me here on The Future Edit.
Thank you so much, Kelly. I am fine. I am really, really, really excited about this interview and I was looking forward. So thank you for having me tonight.
Pleasure. So let's first start off with you introducing yourself, just a little bit about your background, and then how you even got into flowers and what, was there always that curiosity there? So kind of walk us through a bit of a history of yourself.
Okay. Well, I'm Mexican, and I moved to Germany in 2012. So with flowers, I have been in touch and in contact with flowers my whole life. But it was until I finished the university that I decided, okay, after university, I will start working. I studied international business. And then I will look for something creative because I always wanted to do something related to fashion design or interior design.
Yeah.
And when I was a child, I used to buy the flowers with my mom every week. And I was in charge to decorate my home and every corner at home. But I remember my mother had a very love and approach to fashion and interior design. So and when I finished the university, when I was working, I thought, okay, maybe I don't have to study again that. But I realized that flowers play an integral role in both industries, in interior design and fashion design. So both industries need flowers all the time. Yeah. And they just lift up every corner in your home, or when you are styling, you will always need flowers. So I thought, okay, I think my creative path is going to floral design. So I found an institute in Mexico. I studied for around 3 years.
Okay.
And while working is when I decided to start a small business because, okay, I wanted to do it slowly and step by step. So I registered Caros Blumen in Mexico in 2011, but then I moved to Germany in 2012. So in Germany, you have to start also little by little, first with language, all that.
Yes.
Language, and then I wanted to earn my own money, of course. So I had to follow the logistics and international business path again.
Okay.
But after a couple of years, I realized maybe it is time to to go to a creative path again. By that time, at the beginning when I moved to Germany, I used to do flowers for friends, for family. So I had the opportunity to know the wide variety of flowers here in Germany, to work at a flower shop, a part-time job. So it helped me to encourage myself to decide, okay, it is time to start something small, and maybe in the future I will be 100% a florist.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was until, when I moved, it was 2012. And in 2017, I registered Caros Blumen. I started to attend workshops as well, one in Sweden, then one in London. When I went to Mexico, or every time I go to Mexico, I try to attend workshops with florists as well in Mexico.
Yeah.
So I love learning the whole time. I have my own my own style, but I love also learning from other florists, and meeting the new community.
Yeah. And so describe your style and what was the process of finding your style? Because I'm sure it kind of takes some, did you find it kind of took some trial and error that you kind of tried some things out first before you landed your style, or just did it come naturally to you?
I think it came just naturally. When I started at school, of course, you have to learn all the techniques and about colors, about styles. I learned a little bit about Ikebana, for example,
Mm-hmm.
but it was just 6 months of Ikebana, and then I started to practice Ikebana in Germany again. So I will say my style is color. Color is my signature. I love colorful combinations, but I also like neutral. So every time I'm using neutral colors, I try to add a pop of color. Um, so maybe one color will be like the eye catcher and the star
Yeah.
in the whole um, combination. But yeah, I will say color. I will say as a Mexican, I love combining sometimes when I have the opportunity, and when my brides or the customer says, okay, yes, go for it. I combine with succulents. I combine with cactuses,
Oh, cool.
because they look cool
Yeah.
in every floral creation. And yeah, I try to find also nice greenery and textures that give a nice touch to my florals.
Yeah. Are there certain florals that you don't like using? Do you have some that are kind of off limits? You're like, yeah, I'm not gonna go with those.
Well, in the past, I will say I don't like using I don't know the name in English. I think is the gerberas. Maybe you know gerbera, or red roses, for example. Red
Okay.
roses, I like them, but if someone asks for red roses, then I will go for English roses
Okay.
in red color,
Okay. Yeah.
um, because they have another nice shape. It's not that I hate red roses, but also look for the shape in the form. And the English roses or BIP roses,
Yeah.
um, they have a very interesting shape and very nice and soft, and they come sometimes together with other small roses around the big one. So they look really romantic. And then I will choose not the typical roses, but English roses, for example.
Okay. I'm with you on that one. It's funny because
Mhm.
for Mother's Day, my husband went to go get some flowers for me, and he's like, "Do you have anything that's not roses?" And she's like, "What's wrong with you? Why are you not getting roses?" Like, my wife doesn't like them. She likes something a little bit more wild. He's like, Maybe I could put something together. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Is at the
And the
market.
girl, yeah, yeah, of course. I'm with you. And the Gerberas, yeah, I think it's a name in English. Gerbera, Gerbera, I don't
Yeah,
know the
yeah,
pronunciation.
the
Yeah.
gerb, yeah,
But then I found out or that there are a wide range of different styles and forms of Gerberas. So
yeah,
they are nice. They are cute. You will find tiny Gerberas that I didn't knew. I found them, yeah, a couple of years ago. But I see them, I respect them, but I don't use them in my designs. Not
yeah.
yet. Maybe I will, but yeah, those are maybe the examples of flowers that I don't dislike, but I don't typical use in
Yeah.
my arrangements.
It doesn't go with your aesthetic. Yeah, that makes
Yep.
it makes complete sense. And that also, keeps your style different from other florists as well. You can see the difference in your
Yeah.
designs.
Yeah, that's right.
And so describe the process that you go through when you are designing a bouquet for a bride or what's your process, what's your thought process? Are there some flowers that, when you put them together, you're just like you kind of like scream inside like, oh, this is so beautiful, I love this, yeah,
Yeah.
describe your process of
Well, the process is I always meet up with the bride
yeah,
because yeah, I love knowing about her own style. I always ask if I'm allowed to see the outfit. It is important for me to see the whole outfit.
yeah,
If I can see also the wedding invitation and to know about the whole, because sometimes they come to me and they only want the bridal bouquet. Sometimes they need the whole decoration for the wedding. But for me, it's important to know also the whole the whole style for the wedding.
yeah.
So yeah, and I always ask about the birthday day and if they are, I don't know, Taurus, Capricorn,
Yeah,
the how do you call that? The
their star sign.
yeah, the
Yeah.
star sign. I ask about it, and if it is possible to know the groom as well.
Oh,
Sometimes
cool.
they come together, or sometimes only the bride with the bridesmaid. But for me, it's important to know a lot if I'm allowed. No.
Yeah.
Then, well, we choose a palette of colors. Of course, I ask about what she likes. They send me sometimes inspirations and colors, and then I suggest, okay, um, this season is gonna be about these colors, but yeah, we make together like a research, and then yeah, I create a mood board for them. And while creating, for me, is music very important. So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter one type of music. I love listening classic music, but I also love indie rock, if it
Yeah.
is possible, indie acoustic or covers in acoustic way. But yeah, music is very important while doing my flowers. So then, when I'm doing the flowers, I choose the music that I think goes also with the flowers I have chosen for the bride.
That's cool.
And yeah, it's like I'm creating a story.
Yeah.
So I try to focus on that at that moment. I start a candle. This is like my ritual or my
Yeah.
therapeutic moment, but it's in the end also my work. So I try to be very calm. I try to be very focused, and I try to imagine the bride and the way she will look like. I don't know. It's kind of a whole story while doing the flowers in my head.
That's really beautiful because, coming, let's say I'm the bride, and you've entrusted this bouquet to you and to a florist. It's also that you're providing this beautiful bouquet, but also giving it really positive energy and already kind of blessing this bouquet for her to use as she's walking down the aisle. So that's so cool that you have this ritual and it's really a positive experience for you, but she'll feel that positivity as well when she receives those
Yeah,
flowers.
yeah,
And how
totally agree with you.
that's
Yeah.
really interesting. Do flowers carry do you think flowers carry positivity or energy? Do you think there's certain ones that kind of display more of that than others? Or do you think as a whole, flowers, and also because you're in plants too, we got to talk about your plant collection because you're
Or
obsessed.
yours.
I'm obsessed. Um, yeah, because I mean, I guess when I look at I mean, I love flowers because they bring me joy, right? I put them on the table, and when I walk in, there's like this this calmness. There's this beautiful energy. So, what is your take on flowers and energy and all that stuff?
Well, I do believe that every flower has their own, yeah, their own shape, their own soul, no? And while talking by smells, for example, I will say lavender, um, basil. When you use them in bridal bouquets, they they smell so good that I will say
Yeah.
they could calm the bride during the whole ceremony or whatever. Peonies, peonies, you will find them only every once a year from April to July, if we are lucky.
Okay.
They smell also so good. I will say that every flower has their special touch, but yeah, if not all the flowers smell really strong, like peonies, for example, lavender, lilies, um, and all those flowers inspire peace, inspire joy, inspire, yeah, a combination of nice feelings. There is one flower, delphinium, for example. I love this flower, and you will find it from now actually, but this is a July flower, and it brings a lot of joy and brings you peace. You can use it for weddings or bridal bouquets, but you can also use it um,
Yeah.
for funerals. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. So it's a very versatile, I will say, flower.
Okay.
But
Interesting.
in the end, joy. One of the attributes is joy, and I love this flower. When you dry it, also you can the shape stays and the color as well. So I love this flower. I am in love with this flower since a couple of years ago.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite flower? Do you have a favorite flower? Or is that
Well,
really
not
hard?
only one. Well, yeah, delphinium. I would say the clematis. Clematis is it's a flower that climb. It's a climbing flower
Oh, cool.
actually, and yeah,
Oh, wow.
uh, I try to use it to give some movement to my bouquets because
Okay.
when you look at them, yeah, they climb, so the form is always a little bit different, and they are like a poesy. I don't know.
Yeah.
They they are like dancing flowers as well. So I like the clematis.
Ah,
I love peonies, of course, and English roses. Yeah, I love them. I love
nice.
English roses.
Oh, I really miss in London. We had
Yeah.
the Queen's Rose Garden, and oh,
Mhm.
it's so beautiful. And it's fascinating, like the how many do you call them species or how many yeah species of just roses of a certain kind of rose that there are. And it's like wow, this is unbelievable.
Yeah. And
And
the smells and wow,
yeah,
yeah. It's
and so talk about smells of flowers. I know you were saying it was bringing joy or calmness to, because it's quite interesting that smells can also are associated with memory, with really good times for depression. If if you might be low, you could smell something that kind of brings you back up. What are your thoughts on needs an uplift and
Mhm.
feeling a little bit low? Which what would you do for them?
Okay. Well, I think I will choose herbs, for example.
Okay.
I will choose some mint. Um, I will choose lavender because yes, as you said, these colors release something on you, um, release feelings, and I will combine it with some yellow and orange flowers with some cream colors, and the smell of the mint and the lavender is very interesting. So maybe a little bit of thyme. Thyme
Interesting.
smells also so good.
It does.
And yeah, these flowers you find them during spring and summer, so I will go for them. And yeah, chrysanthemum, for example, is also, I forgot to say, but it's also a very happy flower. It uplifts anyone, and the variety and the colors is amazing. So choosing some of the herbs and some of the flowers we already mentioned about happiness and joy,
Yeah.
they will uplift any soul.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And so you've also given like flower therapy workshops, right? Or you
Yeah.
can so talk me through one of those and how those came about.
Well, there is one about I saw that from Justina Becklini. She's an interior design, and it is face the foliage. I have offered that only twice here in Frankfurt. It was the first time, and we just create faces or figures with flowers.
Cool.
We will use the leaves of the flowers and some greenery, and just create form and create anything you have in mind, anything you want to express, while also eating a nice meal. And that time, my friend Valentina cooked some lavender soup
Oh wow.
and some cakes. Yeah, combining flowers, and because the idea is using only flowers in this therapeutic workshop.
Cool.
And yeah, everyone was very happy. Another girl, a photographer, took some pictures, and the idea was okay. In the end, you cannot take these figures, these drawings of your flowers with you because you are using a piece of white paper and just placing the leaves.
Yeah.
But this photographer made some nice pictures, and every member attendant of the workshop received via email a nice 2 3 different pictures of their designs, and the feedback was very good. So people were like, oh my god, this is very original, this is super nice, we love it.
Yeah.
It haven't happened again. But also my botanical design, I learned botanical design in Sweden. Um, and then I started to recreate also botanical design here in Frankfurt. So we do jewelry, rings, earrings, necklaces, bracelets.
Oh, cool.
And all women that have attended these workshops, while they are talking with other girls and looking at their designs, uh, always I will hear that, oh, this is so therapeutic. Finally, a moment for myself. Finally, I didn't know that I could be able to create something like this. And hearing this is like, wow, they are happy. They are being themselves. They are releasing stress. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's why I will say this is also very therapeutic and yeah, spiritual. I don't know. I always take care of the workshops about the music, about which candles I will start, which snacks I will offer. So everything has to go together and
Have a
combine.
flow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the flow is important.
Yeah, exactly. It's just so interesting because as I'm working on this podcast and you're trying to think of all the different ways that you could offer some kind of stress release or bring joy into someone's life. And it is extremely interesting that think that flowers or things that we kind of take for granted on a daily basis because they're everywhere and they're beautiful and you smell them and you do stop to smell the roses, right? But how they can really give you that they can kind of create that calmness and that stillness and that peace that you need by just taking a few petals and different things and playing with them and really arranging them, and how therapeutic that is. And
Mhm.
I mean, this is cool, right? That flowers can
It is.
offer
It is.
such an amazing different perspective for you on life. So yeah, I think that's really really fascinating that you offered that. I mean, I understand with COVID and everything, it's been a bit difficult
Mhm.
offering these kind of things. But um, do you think you'll do something like that in the future?
Yeah, definitely. I am really looking forward to start offering workshops. Not this year. We have because this year we have some family projects and
Nice.
yeah, and I am pregnant again. So
Woohoo! Congratulations.
thank you. And yeah, but I do believe I have a lot in my head right now, and I am planning to start workshops. Yeah, hopefully next year.
Mm-hmm.
I hope we can start with groups at least of 10 people, 8 people, because yeah, I have offer workshops for 5 people and so on, but it's less people, and I always need more people in my workshop. So
Yeah.
I have always this necessity of connecting with people, but also connecting them. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I
That's in,
hope.
that's interesting, isn't it? Because in your workshops, yes, it's therapeutic to work with the flowers, but it's also you're like you said, you're connecting and you're creating a community for these
Mhm.
ladies, and that right there is already a therapy session on its own because especially now everyone is just longing for this connection,
Yeah,
this
definitely.
belonging, this wanting, and creating something beautiful at the same time. That's awesome. It's really
Hmm.
really 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 cool. Now,
Yeah.
would you describe yourself as a spiritual person?
Yeah, I will say that I am very spiritual. I mean, I have my own rituals.
Yeah.
I love meditation. I love, yeah, I pray. I am Catholic.
Yeah.
Um, but, well, I used to be very strong Catholic when I was living in Mexico. Not anymore. But, yeah, I will say I have my own rituals, my own way to follow my religion,
Yeah, exactly.
and yeah, I love reading. I love reading about poetry, and in the end, all the things that I like, music, classic music, I think all connected to one thing, and in the end, that's
Yeah, exactly.
my ritual, my religion, my way of inspiration. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, that's what I find really important is there's not one way, right, to be a spiritual
Mhm.
person, or like you can be spiritual, like you said, through flowers, through music. I'm a huge music fan. So for me, putting music on, and even if I'm staring off into
Yeah.
space or meditating, that is a way to calm you and connect you and, you know, make you feel really good, right? And that's definitely what we
Totally. I
all
mean,
need.
yeah, I mean, meditation is not for everyone, and it's not like I meditate every day.
Yeah.
Um, I try to connect with myself 10 minutes if I have more time than 20 minutes. As I said, not every day, but I think every human has their own way of meditation. It can be
Yeah.
music, like you said, like dancing and singing. For example, I love singing when
Yeah.
I am doing my flowers as well. So, yeah, I think everything we like and we enjoy as a hobby or whatever, it's part of our, yeah, our religion,
Yeah.
our yeah, spiritual thing.
Yeah. That's really cool. Because I think a lot of times people get discouraged when like, oh, but I'm just not into meditation. It's like, that's cool. You don't have to do that. It's not,
No.
I don't know how many times I've sat down like,
Hmm.
some days I'm very much like, can we just hurry up? I have too much on my mind right now. I know I'm supposed to be clearing it, but this isn't working. And then other
Yeah.
days it's like I could be there all day because this is great. I don't want to do anything else. But it's like you said, it's not for everyone. Everyone has to find their own form of ritual.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, totally. And yeah, nowadays, for example, wellness, we are hearing a lot about
yeah,
wellness and creativity. I would say they belong together now. I mean, this,
completely.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, that's a really good point that you make there because I started this book called The Artist Way, and it's basically about morning journaling and being creative every day because every single person is a creative. We are born creative individuals. But
Yes.
people get caught up in this, but I'm not an artist, or I'm not this, or I'm not this. But
Mhm.
every day
Or I
you're,
didn't study that. I hadn't had
yeah,
proper studies, and yeah, you
it's
don't
not,
need that.
you don't need that at all. It's through your, like you say, through your rituals, through your dancing, through your
Hmm.
singing, through your bobbing your head up and down, whatever. And it
Hmm.
is part of it's basically kind of part of our DNA, almost like our duty to be creative. And when you're not being creative, in whatever form it is, you're
Yeah,
basically denying yourself of just living, right? Because living is creativity. I mean, just
yeah,
living is cool. It's creative, and which is very, very fascinating when you think about it. It's like, oh wow,
yeah. Of course. For instance, if you travel, someone who loves traveling, I believe this person will get inspired every time she goes
yeah,
travel. So I am not the traveler person, but every time I go, I don't know, to Italy, we love Italy, for example,
yes,
or to Mexico. Now, I really take my time to enjoy nature, to enjoy gardens, to enjoy yeah, the small gardens of a house, or
mm-hmm.
the flowers they place at the restaurant, or just yeah, to enjoy every nature or flower I see around me. So that inspired me when I traveled. So yeah, I think everyone can be creative, and everyone is in charge of finding that
Yes,
at some point, and it is very important to find that creativity, yeah, in yourself.
exactly. I think what's been also a really big theme, like you said, is wellness because people have
Mhm.
been forced to take the time to slow down and to really evaluate their lives and say, okay, what is it that I really need? What is it that I want? What is it that I don't want? And realizing actually I don't need all this to keep me happy. What I do need is to simplify my life and then to focus in on, the things that bring me joy, right? And this
Mhm.
is so important. Like you said, you have to go inward. You have to look. the things that don't serve you anymore. If you've been going to a job, yeah, everyone needs to make money, they need to live. But if you've been in a job that you've hated for 20 years, and then you don't do anything about it, and you're still like, there's something missing. I know I'm creative, but you don't take the time to figure it out. I mean, sadness. So I think this is really great that people are now, like you said, taking the time to find that creativity. And it can just be a hobby. That's the thing that I think also needs to be emphasized is your creativity you don't have to be a number one bestseller, or you don't have to make money from it. It's all about that thing that you wake up to do, right? That brings you joy. Like, okay, I might have to go to work for 8 hours today, but I get to come home and I get to use clay, or I get to put flowers in a jar. I mean, that's the thing that you hope people start to look forward to, and it doesn't have to be the greatest thing in the world, right?
Yeah, that point is very important, and we have to find the meaning in what we do for living, or the meaning in what we love for doing as a hobby.
Yeah.
And that meaning is, I think is the first step. And an intention. Every day we have to put an intention in. It's like me working with flowers. The intention for this wedding is that people will remember the flowers, will smell them, will be happy, will talk about these flowers, I don't know, for the next years. And every intention is important.
Yeah.
For everything, I mean.
That's a really powerful thing that you just said, intention. And I think a lot of times we forget about our intentions, and actually how powerful intentions are. And it doesn't have to be anything big. It can be, I want people to love this flower. I want them to smell it, and it to, put a smile on their face. It's the little things, right? The little things that all add up to be really beautiful, great things, which is really awesome. Intention. Yeah.
And I have to be honest, I didn't put intention at the beginning of my work. So I have been developing this intention and learning about the meaning and the values of my work. I took therapy and while talking with a psychologist, and asking myself and questioning myself is how I found it in the last year. The meaning of my work, the intention, and it is important to question ourselves as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. I understand that. I've done the same thing the last year, and it's good because you need someone to ask you those questions, or to kind of challenge yourself, because we won't challenge ourselves. And like you said, you didn't even know what intention really was until they started to challenge you on it. And doing that inner work and challenging yourself is now bringing that positive intention to your work, which then is passed on to others. So it's this amazing, natural, beautiful effect, this flow of positive intentions, kind of floating out into the world, which is really beautiful. That that this is what you're creating, which is really, 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 really cool.
Thank you, Kelly. It was a long journey, and I hope I will do flowers for the rest of my life. So I see myself doing flowers as long as I can. I think it's very important to follow always what brings you joy is what you need. For the rest of your life.
Yeah. Exactly.
It doesn't matter what is, really. It doesn't matter. I remember my dad used to be entrepreneur, and he used to sell tacos, for example. He used to sell shoes. He used to have a company. He used to sell water from water to the houses,
Mm-hmm.
because in Mexico you have to buy uh, the water for drinking. It's not like
Yes.
in Germany. So he was very creative the whole life, and he used to tell me, hey, whatever you do, if you go to the corner and you sell anything, just do it with love, do it with passion, show that you're enjoying what you're doing. So yeah, anything you have in mind, you can do it as a business for living, but also can be part
Yeah.
of your happiness, you know. Mm.
Oh, wise man. That's cool. That's cool. And what I mean,
Yeah,
what a great example for you, right? That you could see, you saw that through him, and
yeah.
that's really lovely. That's really lovely. So, for say someone that loves flower, I mean, someone that really loves flowers, but they're not really kind of sure.
Mhm.
They'd like to start putting them in their house, but they're not really sure. What's your advice for them? What's your advice for someone that, because I have a lot of friends that love flowers and love plants, and they're
Mhm.
always like, oh, I really want, I love how plants can really just, liven up your flat. I'm like, yeah, I know. They're like, but I don't have a green thumb. I kill them all the
Mhm.
time. So, how can someone that wants to bring beauty into their home, as far as
Okay.
flowers or plants, what is your advice for them?
Well, about plants, yeah, I will start with easy care plants for sure. I can mention three of them that I know they can live if you place them in water, because mine has been living like since 4 years in water. Is the monstera,
Okay.
and
Yes.
yeah, and Sansevieria photos. The Sansevieria photos at these plants, they need either light, direct light, or not.
Mm-hmm.
They can be in shadow, so they will live and grow in every corner of your home. So, and
Nice.
cactus as well. They are
Really?
easy.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I kill every single cactus.
So I water my cactuses every time I remember. Oh, I have to water them, and it happens like once a month
Okay.
during winter. I don't know, every 2, 3 months.
Yeah.
And yeah, for flowers, well, you have to go for seasonal flowers,
Yes, that's important.
because seasonal flowers have a longer life in a vase
Okay.
as a cut flower. Mm, for example, right now, peonies,
Mm-hmm.
they will last, I don't know, 1 week, 10 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they open and open and open, and you
They're
think,
so
okay, are they
beautiful.
opening more? And yeah, yeah. And lilies, for example, lilies. Not everyone is fan from lilies
Yeah.
because they have a smell. Um, but well, I like lilies, and they last really, really long. Um, Tulips. So, oh, yeah, my advice is go for seasonal flowers as well, always.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, every 2 days, change the water, add a fresh cut to your flowers, like half centimeter, 1 centimeter. It is important that every 2 days you clean the vase, you put fresh flower, and
Ah,
yeah,
okay. That's
and
good
don't
to know.
let the water get leaves, because
Okay.
sometimes the flowers lose some leaves. So don't don't let the water to get dirty with the leaves and other stuff. Otherwise, yeah, they died
Okay.
soon. Mm.
Do you talk to your plants?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I do. And I thank to my plants every time I see a new leaf. It's like, oh my God, you're growing, or thank you. Um, when I see that I forgot to water it and she looks like sad, I don't know, I apologize as well,
Yeah, I always
and
feel bad for that.
yeah, I have to apologize. Um, yeah, I talk to them, and yeah, because it's like talking to myself,
Yes.
So I try to be, um, yeah, nice with them, and it is easy. It is easy.
Yeah. It's interesting because I don't know if you had posted it or I had posted it on Instagram.
You sent
But
me a post, and I remember I have to post it on my face and my Facebook group, but I didn't, and it
oh,
was so strong.
it's so beautiful, and it basically says, pick out a plant or go buy a plant if you don't have one,
Mhm.
or pick one out that you're quite fond of or you're not even fond of, whatever, and
Yeah.
name that plant you. And so
Mhm.
I have one sitting by my bedside table, and I named it Kelly. And then every morning you get up and say, "Good morning, Kelly. How are you? I hope you're
Oh, I'm
feeling
gonna
well
cry.
today. This is, have a good
Yeah.
day. Did you sleep well? I'm going to water you now." And it's such, I never thought about that before. Yeah, I talk to my plants, but to actually talk to them in such a beautiful way,
Yeah.
and meaning you're talking to yourself that way, and if you practice that every day, that you're creating this self-love, right?
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful how you can connect
So
plants,
powerful. Yeah.
that something so powerful, with self-love. And this is probably why I have like a million plants over my house. It's just something about nature and beauty and uh, connection and self-love. It all goes hand in hand, doesn't it? I mean, just talking to a
Totally
plant,
agree
you start
with
to love
you.
yourself.
Yes, yes, it is. And we are not crazy. Sometimes, yeah. When I remember someone when I was offering the botanical workshop, and they can also use plants for the botanical design for the jewelry. I used to tell the ladies, hey, but please, before you add a cut to the plant, ask the plant or tell them, hey, sorry, I'm taking your beautiful leaf. And someone was like kind of laughing, but in the end was like, oh, I was actually nice talking to the plant and ask permission for cutting a leaf for creating another piece of beauty.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, plants um, heal. Yeah, heal with you. I mean, plants, flower, any kind of nature is like medicine for us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's such a nice thing to think about. Plants heal, and
Mm-hmm.
it's so true. It's anymore now. I love to bring people flowers, but I know that they only last for so long. This is why I love your bouquets, because when you do the dried flowers, I'm like, this is gonna last forever. This is so great. It's like
Thank
joy
you.
every day.
You're
And
lovely.
and and this last time we went to visit some friends, and we ended up buying them like a tree, like a flowering tree, because we thought,
Mm-hmm.
wow, they can plant this and they can watch this grow, and it's going to
Yeah.
bear some kind of flowers or whatever every season. And how
Mm-hmm.
beautiful that. And that is kind of like, it's also like a metaphor for life. You go through these
Yeah.
seasons and you change, and you got to take care of it, and sometimes you might have lower seasons and then better seasons.
Yeah.
And yeah. Now, a question that I ask everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Describe, because it's, my tagline is editing the future you. So you do the inner work now so you can be a healthier and happier future you. Describe, describe the future you. What do you see in the future for yourself?
Hmm. Yeah, that's a very important question. Yeah. But well, I see myself doing florals. I see myself with my family, surrounded with my family, and transmitting this love and passion and yeah for flowers to my children.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, to my children, and because they are, I mean, yeah, I'm looking for my future, but they are part of that future,
Yeah.
and I want them to learn about the love that I put in everything I do. So that's my vision, is how I see myself teaching my children. And this way I will also keep learning, and I will keep of focusing in my mission, no? In my mission in life, and my mission and my intention. So I see myself growing, growing and learning from myself, learning from my children, and learning from my community, from my floral community. I see myself surrounded by flowers, definitely, and teaching people, and transmitting those therapeutic moments, and happy moments, I will say.
Yeah. That's beautiful. That sounds like that's a lovely future. I mean, it's nice because it is about focusing on the present now, but
Yeah.
we're also, we're focusing on the present now to become these beings of contentment and joy and stillness. But focusing on all that now already ensures that we can have this in the future, because this is a part of us. This is what we are, you know, trying to be. And I think that's really nice to, it's,
Oh, thank you for asking me that. So I sometimes we don't think about it, and that's a very important question. So
yeah,
we don't lose the way, the path, or
yeah.
Thank you for this question, actually.
Well, I think it's, you know, it's good to know, like you said, your purpose, my
Wow,
focus has
yeah,
been
purpose.
your soul. What is your soul's purpose? What are you here to do? And a lot of times that's a really hard question for people. And this women's group I've just recently joined, the question was, well, what's your soul's mission statement? And I was like,
Mm.
wow, okay. And then what are your values? What do you value? Because as soon as you can figure out what your values are, and you write them all down, and then you look at this list and say, what values do you have a lot of right now, like that are present in your life? And then what are the values you'd like to see more in your life? And once you start to narrow this down and really, really take some time to look at this, you really start to see what your soul desires and what you need, and not and then when you know what your soul needs, you won't compromise on those things anymore, because that's exactly its purpose then. And it's such a beautiful thing when you said, your purpose, your legacy, what are you leaving behind? What do you want to pass to your children? And for you, it's like in everything I do, there's love, there's passion, there's beauty. And that's beautiful. That's, well, thank you so much for chatting with me today, or this evening.
Oh, thank you, Kelly.
Really, really beautiful. And I will put all of Cairo's information so you can find her and look at her Instagram and all her beautiful creations.
Thanks so much.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you like what you're hearing, please like us, subscribe, and tell your friends. You can follow us on Instagram, The Future Edit. And for more information about my guest and myself, you can head to thefutureedit.com. Until next time, ciao.